Hey, vinyl community, Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records, and I'm down here in the basement with my trusty dog Chester, and I thought I'd share with you a little of this, a little of that. Book I just read, records that it may have led me to or away from, and I also just got back from a trip to a warehouse, a secret undisclosed location, where I pick up a lot of records that I'll clean up and sell at my vintage shop table here in Lee. And maybe some of them at a record show I might be doing. I'm going to be doing the February record show in Raleigh and hopefully the one in Wilson in March. So, first, the book. Great book. It's almost 600 pages. It'll take you a little while to read it. But if you got any interest in some of the great artists of the 60s and 70s and beyond, Leon Russell, the master of space and time's journey through rock and roll history. I'm not going to attempt to divulge any great, reveal any great storylines in here. I'll just tell you this is an excellent book. Leon's career began in the bars as a 14 or 15-year-old in the bars in Tulsa. Before he was out of his teens, he was touring as Jerry Lee Lewis's band, and then he went to L.A. He was a member of the Wrecking Crew in L.A., one of the great session musicians and arrangers. Then he had his own huge solo career in the early 70s, where he was one of the top draws in rock and roll, and then his career beyond that to his death. Of course, Leon organized and led, was the band leader for a Madman's an Englishman tour, which is a monumental tour. He organized the concert for Bangladesh for George Harrison, and he did so many amazing things in his career. He was a very conflicted individual. He had some demons, and he had some really great qualities, like all of us, I would say. So, if you want to learn a lot about not just Leon Russell, but the music industry and music in general, this is a highly recommended book. The author's name is Bill Janovics, right there. Okay, and this came out in 2023, I believe. And he was the author was a member of a band that had some success, Buffalo Tom, in the 1980s, I believe. Okay, as a result of that, I didn't have this album that came out in 2010, Leon Russell and Elton John, The Union, where Leon is joined as obviously by Elton John, because John wanted to kind of resurrect Leon's career. It wasn't totally in the dumps. He referred to it to be in the ditch, but Leon referred to it as being in the ditch. But really, he was still touring and making money. He just wasn't as touring as large of venues as he was many years ago. But they got together and did this album, and there's some other Leon albums that I don't have that much interest in picking up, even though I have most of Leon's stuff from the 70s and early 80s. There's a few that I don't, and some of them I'm not going to, based on the book. Okay, next is going to the warehouse, and I got there about 10:30 and left about 2:30, so I spent some time going through that warehouse. I bet there's, I hate to say 100,000 records in that warehouse, but there's more than 50,000, I believe, easily more than 50,000. I limited myself, with two exceptions, to the records he was selling for $3, and of course I bought a couple of hundred records, so I got them for, he knocked some off of that $3 a record price, and I'll be putting some of them out at my table at the vintage shop, and I'll have some for sale at the record show And and some of them I can never get in there and not keep some of them too, going and buy them. Oh, I'm not selling this one. I'm just going to keep this. For instance, one of the bands that used to tour a lot up and down the East Coast, especially, they had a couple of major label albums, or at least one major label album, but mainly regional or independent label records. Group out of the DC area called the Nighthawks, 10 Years Live. This is the one Nighthawks album I did not have. It's on Chesapeake Records, and I had a copy of this one, but this one looked right to be in really good condition, so I went ahead and got that. So I'll either switch it out if it plays better than the one I've got, or I'll sell this one. The Nighthawks Hard Living, and that was on Varick Records. Okay. Let's see. I'll just pull a bunch of them and go. I always enjoy Les Paul and Mary Ford. There's this little Les Paul Mary Ford record. The Box Tops. Non-stop. The Box Tops. It does not have the letter on it. That's not the album that has the letter on it. And this one caught my eye real quick. Jumped on this one. Five Blind Boys of Mississippi, My Desire. And this is on ABC from 1974. That's the back picture there. My childhood soundtrack would definitely include the Looking Glass song, Brandy. Everybody knows that song that grew up in the 60s, I suppose. Great song. And the Looking Glass was the band that did Brandy. Brandy was a huge hit. So I had to have that for sentimental reasons. A couple of Mitch Ryder's, the Detroit Wheels, and Mitch Ryder's greatest hits. I already have both of these, but how can you turn down a really good condition Leon Redbone record? Hard to do. Childhood once again. Sly and the Family Stone. I don't see the other one yet. It's up here somewhere. Stan, Sly and the Family Stone. And the jacket's in rough shape, but the vinyl looks really good. Sly was huge. Sly and the Family Stone were huge during that period. I guess it would be like right at like 71, 70, 72, somewhere in there. Maybe 69. Big Brother and the Holding Company without Janis Joplin. Again, the jacket's in rough shape, but vinyl looks good. I think I can clean it up and have good results. Okay, let's see. I got a bunch of these. I was shocked that he was selling these for $3. So I just got them all. I think I left one there. I have about 5 Julie London records already. I got from Rob the Wax at an auction, or he may have just sold them to me. Not an auction. Just I can sell you this many. But anyway, so most of these are ones I don't already have. Julie London, Liberty was the label she was on during that period, mostly. So some of these are on Sunset. Looks like a little bit later. About the Blues. I don't have this one either. See some water damage here. But again, the vinyl looks excellent. And here's another one on, this one's on Guest Star. Tenderly Yours. And it's in mono press. As a lot of these are, I imagine. No, this one's stereo. On Liberty, Julie at Home. The Very Best Of. This is a later pressing because it's on the that style United Artists label. Love on the Rocks, and that's mono and on it's on Liberty. Yeah. another copy of it, 2 copies of Tenderly Yours. Okay. So I'll obviously not keep both of them. And this originally sold 2 for $1. Special. Okay, and that's on Sunset. So a bunch of Julie London, what is that, 7 or 8 Julie Londons there. I really like her as a vocalist, jazz vocalist. Didn't have a lot of Dr. John, but I didn't have this one, so I look forward to listening to this one. Not sure what year this came out. Don't see it obviously on the back cover. Had this album when I was when it came out when I was 15 years old. Highway Call. I think I was 15, and so I definitely got this album in Greg Allman's Laid Back. It was obviously I didn't have a good stereo at the time. Didn't know anything about maintaining records, so my original copy's beat up. But my jacket is in good shape. This jacket's not the best shape, but the vinyl is in good shape, so I'm just going to Frankenstein that. Dan Hicks, you remember Dan Hicks in the Hot Licks? Well, here's Dan Hicks, It Happened One Bite. And a promo copy of Roadhouses and Dance Halls, Lonnie Mack. Oh, here's one, the jacket's in awful shape, it's falling apart, but the vinyl looks good. Flo and Eddie, formerly of the Turtles. There they are. I don't have any Flo and Eddie. I've got this album already, the first Leo Koke album, 6 and 12 string guitar, but I think this might be an upgrade, and if it's not, this is a worthy album for someone else to put in their collection. Here's the other Sly Stone. This is the greatest hits record. Always see this record, but guess what? It's always beat to crap. This vinyl looks really good, and the jacket's in good shape too. Sly and the Family Stone. Spectrum, a Rounder Records recording featuring Bella Fleck on the banjo, and Mike Aldridge from Seldom Seen plays as a guest with on dobro, and Glenn Duncan, special guest on the fiddle. So looking forward to this Spectrum album. It's right up my wheelhouse. I couldn't remember if I had this on vinyl or just on CD. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Azuma. Again, you can see the jacket's in awful shape. Vinyl's good. Mainly what you'll find, if you find someone like Neil Young or Rolling Stones, someone like that, and it's in his $3 section, it's because the jacket's in really bad shape or the vinyl's in really bad shape. And I can overlook a bad shape jacket anytime. This is on Flying Fish Records, Byron Bowers, The View from Home, folk album. John Fahey, Leo Koke, and Peter Lang. I got this album already too, but again, maybe it's an update. We'll see. And then, couldn't believe this was $3. More than that, there were probably 10 of us in the warehouse at the time looking. But by the time I got around to the boxes where this record was, I'd watched several people in that section, and they've kept passing over this record. Couldn't stand the weather. $3, less than $3 actually. And I had them put it on. I said, are you sure this is a $3 record? And he said, well, let's put it on. He said, well, the jacket's in rough shape. He said, but sometimes I put stuff in there. It's like Easter eggs, I put something that's in really good shape. I didn't show them, but there's a couple of Led Zeppelin I got from there too. Coda and Led Zeppelin too. And, he knows good and well Led Zeppelin is more valuable than that. Now, the vinyl wasn't in perfect shape, and the jacket wasn't in good shape, in great shape, but it was, I think I cleaned it up, and it's a VG record anyway. And here are the two that were not from $3 bins, 2 Tony Rice unit records, and let's see, this one is Mar West, and this one is Still Inside. I have both of these. I have all Tony Rice's records, but these, he wanted $20 a piece for these, and I don't know exactly how much I paid for them, because basically he gave me a deep discount and then just charged me the $40 for these 2 records. So I don't know how you figure that. I would think of it more like I got these for significantly less than $20 each. So that's what the records I got. I got a lot of cleaning to do. I got all these are the records I picked up today. There's my record cleaner, my VPI 16.1. There's the records I just showed you, and 2.5 boxes. One box wasn't completely full. So, a lot of work ahead of me to get all these records clean, get them out to the shop, get them ready to go to the record show, whatever they end up, and getting these that I plan on keeping onto my turntable to enjoy myself. Everybody, I hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll remind you all, please be kind to your neighbors. There's no reason to have ill words towards one another. Be kind to your neighbors, because we're all neighbors.